In today's video, we're going to be talking about how we shower on the road. Welcome to Freely Roaming. My name is Marlene.
And I'm Dan. We want to talk to you guys today about all the different ways that we shower on the road. A lot of people have asked us about just exactly how we do it, being that it's kind of a small van that we have, and there are 5 of us. And we don't really carry that much water.
And we don't have, as you can probably see behind us, we don't have
a built-in shower.
Bathroom.
Yeah, we don't have a built-in bathroom. So this is something that we've been figuring out for the entire time that we've been traveling. Even though our first camper, our 25-foot Airstream that we used to travel in, had a shower, and we would shower in it, but it was never the ideal place to take a shower, because even when you do have the space, you don't really have a full-size shower, and you don't have as much water as you would want if you travel like we do, which is mostly off-grid. So other ways to shower has always been ideal for us, whether that be, being at campgrounds or paying for showers specifically at certain places. So in this video, we want to tell you guys all the different ways that we shower. We have a blog post on this topic as well. We'll put the link of that in the description below.
So we're going to break up this video into 3 different types of showers that we take. We do a paid shower, we do free showers, and we do showers in our actual camper.
So the paid options obviously include us going to a campground that has a shower. Mm-hmm. So by going to a campground, one of the biggest reasons why we do go to a campground is either we need to plug into electricity. Mm-hmm. For example, if it's in the wintertime when it's really cold, we're not getting that much solar, if we need to fill up water, or if we need to shower. So having a really good warm shower is a pretty high priority for us, because if we're going to spend the money to stay at a campground, we don't just need a place to sleep, because we can find places to sleep in many, many other places. We need these reasons to be one of the top priorities. So campground showers, generally speaking, they are less than stellar, because when you go to a campground, people usually go to campgrounds for all the camping facilities: electricity, water, shower, kitchen, sometimes swimming pools, sometimes it's the location that it's at. Campfire rings, yeah. So showering is just one of the many. So they kind of all have to be relatively up to par. So not all of them is going to be really, really stellar. Generally speaking, there are obviously some that have really great showers and very great facilities, and those are probably some of the more popular ones. But what we found is that campground showers, they are often sort of neglected if it's an older campground. If it's a state park or county park, unless it's just been renovated, they can be pretty scary. We've been in campgrounds where there are more spiders and bugs and creatures in the stalls than there are seemingly in the entire state that we're in.
But I think what's scarier than bugs is like hairballs, and it's just like sitting there. It's like, oh.
They don't really get cleaned that well, depending on who's doing the cleaning and how much you're paying for these campgrounds. And when we go to these sort of smaller countries that don't have as much infrastructure, your standards are going to have to kind of vary. You're going to have to set your expectations right.
Don't be a glamper.
Yeah. So keep in mind that, when you're paying for a campground, you're not just paying for the shower. Obviously, for us, that's one of our big priorities. But there are other places where you can pay for showers as well. We've camped at marinas. Marinas are, generally speaking, not campgrounds. Not all of them will have places for you that will allow you to stay overnight, but some of them will. So the cool thing about marinas is that they're generally at a pretty popular place in the town. There's going to be restaurants, shops, and places to walk to. And obviously, you're going to have to be by the water if you're at a marina. So we've stayed at marinas in Spain. We've stayed at marinas in Greece. We stayed at marinas in the U.S., various places. And they have bathrooms and showers for the liveaboard people that live in those marinas. So generally speaking, if they have If they have camping facilities, they're going to allow you to use their showers as well. Some of the other places that we've used before, a lot of people have used gym memberships. 24-hour fitness or Anytime Fitness, LA Fitness,
Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness. A lot of these places, during the pandemic is a little bit tricky because I think a lot of gyms have to shut down.
Yeah.
Or they have to limit how many people are allowed to be in there.
Or you can only go to your local one.
Right. So you can't travel as freely as you were able to before. And by not letting non-local members use their facilities, they can sort of cut back on how many people are in there because they are going to be limited. So fitness centers, gym memberships are a good one for a lot of people. Not so much for us because generally speaking, kids are not allowed in these gym showers. So if you're just a single person or a couple, that might be a great choice for you. But for us, we tend not to use very many gyms to do our shower. But what we will do is a lot of cities and counties will have rec centers. And these rec centers, we've seen a lot of them in states like Colorado, Wyoming. Generally, a lot of these sort of very outdoorsy, Oregon, Washington, outdoorsy states out west, they'll have like swimming pools and tennis courts and weight rooms, and they are full-on gyms. And some of the bigger ones have like baseball fields and soccer fields and stuff like that. So those can be really good too. You won't be able to spend the night there, but for us it's great because our kids are always looking for places to go swim. And usually when we find a rec center, we find a place that we can go swim. And after we go swim, then we all shower.
Yeah.
And they can be really inexpensive too. So for like a family to go into a gym for a whole day or to a rec center for a whole day, they range anywhere between like $15 to $25. About what you would pay for like a cheap campground. And the showers there are usually much cleaner and better kept than a campground. But for the most part, they're sort of your typical gym showers where you may not get your own individual stall.
Yeah, you never know.
You
It's
never
always
know.
a surprise.
So rec centers, that's something that we use as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you stay at a place for an extended period of time, you can pay for a whole month. If you pay for a whole month for a whole family, that could be really cheap. We paid as little as like $30 for a family for either a week or a couple weeks at a time. So that means you can go swim there every day or every other day and then shower after that, or just go hang out. And those are also good places to be able to bring your computer there. Generally, there's a place for you to sit down and plug in and do some work.
Wi-Fi.
And free Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And in the summertime, you have community pools. And same thing, the shower is kind of like after pool
deal,
even but you still get to soap up and get warm water.
Even in Germany, we went to a couple of community pools that were pretty inexpensive. So so rec centers, community pools, those are great ones. And then a couple other places that we've done truck stops. We didn't do truck stops for a long time. Mostly because we were not really comfortable with the idea of like
weird.
These truckers that go in there. You have this picture of like these greasy trucker guys with big beards, but obviously those are just the things that you see in the movies. Turns out truck stop showers are really nice,
especially for families, because you get a whole room and you're not paying per person, so we don't have to worry about paying 5 times whatever the rate is.
You basically get a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
If they even, monitor how long you're in there. But generally speaking, you get at least 30 minutes to be in this stall. And it's a full bathroom. It's a toilet, sink, shower stall. And they even give you fresh, warm towels and shampoo.
And they clean
soap.
in between each time.
Yeah, so like I was saying, between the campground where shower is just one of the many facilities that you're paying for, at a truck stop you're paying $12 to $15 just for the shower. So that has to be much higher quality shower experience than you would at a campground, where it's sort of like a secondary benefit. So truck stop have been something that we've used regularly when we're in the US. In Europe, we've only used kind of a truck stop, but it really was just a gas station.
Yeah, like in Norway.
Or in Serbia, I think we took
We
a
had
shower in
yeah, they had a
Serbia.
free one. It was a
Yep.
surprise.
It was free, but the cleaning lady was there, and she says we had to pay her.
We give her a tip for
We gave her a tip,
cleaning up after.
but it was
you.
still really cheap. So yeah, so it's not just the U.S. The U.S. is more standardized when it comes to sort of the truck stop situations. But in Europe, you know, the country that you're in can vary, but we have done it here as well. And then lastly, we've used Airbnbs.
Yeah.
We've paid for Airbnbs just to
For
take
the
showers.
day, for day use.
Pretty much for day use, because as a family of 5, it can be pretty expensive to find a place for us to stay at for a family of 5. There's like 2 people, 4 people, and then when you go to like 4 and up, then you know they expect you to have more, you know, more rooms, and they're going to charge you a lot more.
Like party house.
Yeah, for some reason, right? The whole society is built with even numbers and not odd numbers. So what we've done is that we'll go and find Airbnbs that are there's really small ones, because it doesn't matter what size the Airbnb is, they'll have a shower, and some of them have washer dryers too. So we'll just ask up front, hey, look, we're not going to spend a night, but there are 5 of us, and we just want to come and take showers. Will you let us book? Because you don't want to book pretending that you're just one person and then and have 5 people show up. They won't like that. And a lot of the times they are watching. You know, either the owner lives on site, or they have a manager that's near that can check on the place.
There's a camera outside.
Or there's a camera outside that see you go in and out. So you want to tell them up front, and generally speaking, they'll be totally cool with it, because you know what? If you're just using the shower, it's a lot less work for them to do to have to clean up after you. You know, you're not going to use their bedding or their kitchen or anything like that.
And a lot of times, like when we're in Europe, campgrounds are expensive for a family because they charge per vehicle. It includes a couple, and then they charge extra per kid. And it can add up to like $50 or $60 a night, which is ridiculous. And Airbnbs can be like $20 a night. So much cheaper.
Everything's a la carte when it comes to campgrounds.
Yeah.
So in places where free camping is widely available, we still will use an Airbnb just for a single day, like once a week if we need to. Otherwise, we'll use our other free options. So we'll talk about free options next. Obviously, when you're boondocking, you may not be near a city. You may not be near places where, you know, you can book an Airbnb, or there's going to be a gym or a rec center. So oftentimes, if we're camping next to a body of fresh water, using a lake or a stream or a river, that could be a great place to shower. Obviously, we don't soap up, you know, when we're there. What we may do is we may use sort of these more natural soaps and just kind of lightly soap up when you're outside, and then rinse off and let sort of the ground filter out some of the soapy stuff before it goes back into the water source. But you'll be surprised how well you can clean even just in salt water. You can go for a swim in salt water, and then all you have to do when you come back out is use your fresh water that you have in your camper with you and just kind of do a quick rinse off. And that can be really refreshing too, even, you know, without just having access to fresh water. And then obviously if you're at the beach, a lot of the beaches have free beach showers for people that are sunbathing or surfing or whatever. So a lot of those can be really good resources too, and those are all free. And then lastly, we'll talk about the showers that we have available to us just on board our camper, even though we don't have a dedicated shower.
Okay, so we can talk about how we shower in the camper, and it's what we can do indoors and outdoors, like around the camper. So, like in the past, we had indoor showers when we had our Airstream. We had a separate shower stall from our bathroom, and like Dan said earlier, we didn't use it as often, but it was really great when the kids were little, because there's a little bit of a lip and I can fill it up and they can kind of play in their bathtub.
When they're really little.
when they're really
like
little.
Less than 3.
Right.
4, maybe 4.
But we had newborns and toddlers when we started this lifestyle.
Yeah, we left we moved out of the Airstream into smaller campers in 2015, which means 6 years ago. That means Luca was about 3 when we moved out of there. So we've had even Luca take a bath in the sink. We had a pretty big kitchen sink And we'll fill up a little bit of water and wash Tim in there. But yeah, so having a built-in shower in your camper is a nice thing to have, but it does take up a lot of room. So when we downsized to smaller campers, with 5 people, that was the first thing to go. It didn't make sense to have a dedicated space for a shower, and especially for the latter few years of our life in the Airstream, it just became a place where we stored like brooms and paper towels, pack and plays,
beer,
and, kids' toys, because we had 3 kids, and
it's like the junk closet.
Yeah, so we realized once they got older, they didn't need this pack and play or these little toys anymore. That we just didn't need a shower anymore.
So when we downsized to the 4-wheel camper, that's when we had our first external shower. I think it was, we didn't have warm water.
No, we didn't have a water heater.
So it was very specific to the situation. Like if the weather's nice and we're at a beach and water can spill next to us, then it's fine to use. And some people have heated ones. Like our Airstream actually had a heated outdoor one.
Yeah, and you can buy sort of on-demand hot water heaters that just plug into a small propane bottle. That doesn't take a lot of space. Maybe they're like maybe 1.5 feet and tall and wide and maybe a few inches deep. And you can get hot water as long as you got sort of some way to pressurize a water line into this instant hot water heater run by propane. But again, that takes up a lot of space and uses propane, which can be difficult to find. You can also use ways to heat up water, and then, for example, what we've done is we'll do bucket showers. Mm-hmm. With bucket showers, if you want it to be hot, you just simply boil some water on your stove, and then you mix boiling hot water with half cold water, and then you sort of set it up to your preference, and you can have perfectly temperature water to your liking, and you just either use a cup, wet yourself, shower up, lather up, and then however much water you need, however much water you want, you can heat up as much as you want or as little as you want. So bucket showers can be a really nice thing too, because that means you can do it anywhere. We've done it outside. We've done it behind the van where we're set up some kind of a curtain between the back doors. Mm-hmm. We've actually done it inside here as well.
When we're in Morocco and we're desperate for a shower during lockdown.
Yeah, so we'll take one of our Rubbermaid bins, we'll put it on the floor, and then we hung up curtain all the way around us and tucked the curtain into the bin, and then we'll just pour hot water over our head and shower while we're just standing right here in the middle of the van. So that worked in a pinch. So you don't have to have a shower dedicated, and there have been really cool sort of temporary showers that people have built inside their vans. They'll just do like a shower pan somewhere, and then they'll sort of jerry rig up a shower curtain similar to what we did here, and not have a dedicated shower. So those are all good things, especially if you're going to build your own van. You can consider all these different options.
So sometimes instead of a bucket shower, we do water bottle showers. So it's the same idea where we warm up water on the stovetop, or sometimes one time where were we?
Romania,
we ate at a restaurant and we brought empty water bottles in our backpack. And before we left, we used their restroom. We filled hot water in the bathroom sink and then put it back in our backpack and then left to take a shower.
Well, we were camping in a parking lot just around the corner from this place, and we had eaten at this place 3 times.
Yeah.
And that's how we knew that they have hot water. The hot water spigot is functioning in their bathrooms. So before we went there, we put empty water bottles in our backpacks. We had maybe like 3 each in our backpack. And then as we were eating, before we left, we took turns to go to the bathroom to fill up hot water. Yeah. So that, you didn't have to do that. You could just heat up your own water. But also this was a way for us to just not have to use up our propane.
It was awesome and embarrassing at the same time, but it worked out. So we take water bottles, and depending on the situation, sometimes we'll open up our back doors of our van, and if it's dark and there's nobody around, we'll put on our bathing suits, and we'll go in the back and we'll use one water bottle to wet ourselves, soap up, and then use the second one, to rinse everything off. And we have our towels, and then we come over here and kind of change and hang our bathing suits up. So that works.
You can even buy the special screw-on like shower heads that go on bottles. I've seen those on Amazon. I'll try to find them and put them in the description below. They'll restrict how much water flows out, so you can have a longer shower with the same amount of water. You know, or you can just use the water bottle itself. But if you just upend the bottle on you, it'll empty itself out in a matter of seconds. So you do have to sort of be mindful of how much water you think you're going to use. We've gotten to the point where we can each shower using the water bottle method with about less than a gallon each, maybe half a gallon each.
Yeah. So if we're in a place where we can refill water, there's a spigot, then it's a choice that we choose. Like, it's kind of weird to say. Like why pay for a campground or an Airbnb when we have a spigot of water and we can warm it up and we have privacy? We can just do a quick little shower. It all depends on the situation. Like, if the weather's crappy, or you know, or if it's super sunny, or you have access to water, you'll shower, you know, depending on your situation. So it's not like, okay, we do water bottle every Tuesday. Well, sometimes we can't do that.
No,
you know, it just depends.
Sometimes we're low on water and we don't want to waste it.
Yeah, so it really depends on the situation.
Yeah. So having all these options available to you is the key here. To be able to be flexible, to say, hey, you know what, we're going to do a beach shower if we can find a beach shower. We're going to go to an Airbnb if we're near a city. We're going to maybe just go to a campground if we need to fill up water and charge our batteries if it's a rainy few days anyways. So having all these options available to you is the key. And also, you know, sometimes you'll be surprised how much better you feel just with a couple of wet wipes.
Yeah, and that's what we do sometimes.
Yeah.
We have like regular baby wipes. I use a natural one because it doesn't seem like it leaves like perfume or like a film on you. And they even make these like big ones, like shower wipes.
Do we have them here?
I think we called Epic wipes that we use. I don't know if we still have it up here. Have it here. And sometimes if you need a little bit more privacy for a water bottle shower or even a wet wipe shower, you can go into changing rooms like at the beach too and take your water bottles there or your wet wipes, and then you can get naked and clean yourself.
We have these huge, massive wipes. Come on, focus. These are called Epic wipes. They didn't pay us to show you these. But these are really cool. These are giant wipes. It does seem kind of wasteful though, because I think these are obviously a lot more expensive than your normal wipes. But they're literally called shower on the go. Important thing is, if you're doing a wet wipe shower in a public bathroom or in any bathroom, don't flush the wet wipes. They're not flushable. They have to go in the trash.
Okay, so other ways we shower in here. We have a aluminum
road shower.
Yeah, we have a road shower, which is a aluminum black tube that gets heated up by the sun, and also depending on the situation, we can use that for showering.
Yeah, if you want water pressure, if you just hook up the city water to fill it, as it gets filled from city water, the pressurized city water will pressurize the tube, and then when you turn on the road shower for the water to come back out, it will come out pressurized. But not all of it will come out. Our road shower is a 7-gallon model. So it's surprisingly goes faster than you think it will, even though the thing looks pretty big on the outside. So 7 gallons, and what we notice is when using a road shower like that outside, you're much less conservative with water than if you're doing like a water bottle shower or a bucket shower. Because you can literally see how much water is going down in your bottle or in a bucket. Versus the road shower, you can't really tell how much is left. Yeah. And by the time you realize you're low, it's too late. You know, it takes a decent amount of effort to refill it and heat it back up. So I would say the road shower is a nice thing to have, but it's not. I would not depend on something like that as your only primary way to shower. It's another nice thing for us to have that though, because it is an extra 7 gallons of food safe water storage for us. So if we know that we're going to be somewhere without access to water for a long time, we'll fill up all of our water jugs, which will have 3 of them, 7 gallons each, and then the 7-gallon road shower, which gives us 28 gallons of total fresh water that we can carry. And similar idea as the road shower is just a shower bag, a solar shower bag. Yeah. So you can buy these for like $10 at Walmart. You fill up 5 gallons of water, you hang it up on the sunny side of your van for an afternoon, and before the sun goes down, you've got warm water, and you just shower. We were at a campground in the mountains, inland Croatia, where that's what the campground used. They just used the solar shower, and then she fills it up every day.
Yeah.
Let the sun heat it up, and we stayed there for a couple of weeks, taking showers like that.
There were some cold ones.
Yeah. The thing about these solar heated showers is that you have to shower not too long, either before the sun goes down or not too long after the sun goes down, because they will cool quickly.
Or if you overfill it, you have to really time it. And...
Or you can heat up some water and pour it in there as well. One of the things that we're going to do an upgrade on here is I have a 12 volt, 300 watt heating element on order. So instead of using my propane to heat water and pouring it into our bucket, I want to be able to heat up water directly using our excess solar power in the summertime, because we're going to generate more power than we can use in the summertime. So using a DC water heating element is going to let me sort of take more advantage of the solar. That rather than using propane to heat the water, I'm going to be able to use the solar that's just going to waste anyways. So stay tuned for that video to come up in the next couple of months. So that's it. Those are all the different ways that we shower while we're traveling. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask them in the comments below. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.